Hello, so today I'm going to be talking about prison reform and the need for prison reform in the United States. So I hope you enjoy. According to the U.S. Bureau of Justice Statistics, 2,200,300 adults were incarcerated in federal and state prisons and county jails as of 2013 in the United States. This is approximately 1 in every 110 adults that reside in the United States. This makes the United States the leading country in the incarceration of people in the whole world. We have more prisoners than any other country. This has become a problem in recent decades due to the severe overcrowding, understaffing, and ineffectiveness of the prison system. It has proven to be a quite destructive era of the mass incarceration of people. And due to these current and arising issues in the prison system, American people, some whom are innocent, are suffering cruel and inhumane and brutal conditions in prisons on a daily basis, right under the nose of fellow Americans. This is dehumanizing to the citizens of the United States. This is not ethical, and it does not represent us as American people. It doesn't represent what we stand for or what we believe in. Prison reform is needed desperately, and it is needed now. So first, I'm going to talk about the overcrowding of prisons and the effects of overcrowding. Prison overcrowding is one of the key factors in the poor conditions of the prisons. Arguably, one of the biggest problems in the U.S. prisons today. Overcrowding of prisons prevents the staff and inmates from being sufficient in what they need to do and can have possible life-threatening consequences. Cells that originally are built to house only one inmate are used to house multiple inmates. Inmates don't get their basic human needs met, such as medical attention, food, showers. With inmates overpopulating the jails and prisons, often inmates will suffer with lack of privacy, lack of bedding, toiletries for prolonged extended periods of time, which is just completely inhumane. In 2002, Honorable Judge James Gwynne, out of Ohio, ruled that the Ohio Department of Corrections was actually violating the constitutional rights of offenders that were housed there in the maximum security unit due to the overcrowded conditions. He stated that the brutal and overcrowded conditions of the Ohio prison imposed a atypical and significant hardship on the prisoners there. The Bureau of U.S. Justice Statistics has stated, as of 2013, half of the states have reported that their prison systems are working at a 99% or more of their operational facility. Overcrowding is a serious issue that needs to be addressed now, since the inmate population is only expected to grow. This leads to my next point of the understaffing of the prison systems. American prison systems are severely understaffed. There just aren't enough guards and mental health care workers to contain and care for all the inmates there. Let me inform you first that the goal of the prison system is to rehabilitate offenders who are going to be re-entering the society that you and I live in. A study done by a man named Torrey in Arlington, Texas, found that 20% of inmates in prison suffer from a mental illness. In understaffed and overcrowded prisons, staff don't have the time or the money or the means to treat the medical conditions of all the inmates who desperately need it. In return, the inmate's condition deteriorates, and then that inmate is released back onto the streets in a worse condition than whenever they entered the jail. Riots, officer and inmate assaults, murder, theft, and all other crimes, you name it, are more likely to be committed and gotten away with when prisons are understaffed. Therefore, defeating the purpose of prisons, hardening criminals, and putting everyone there in danger. Last but not least, this leads me to my final point that I will make about the need for prison reform, which is just the inefficiency of the prison system. The prison system in the United States has proven to be ineffective and is very costly to taxpayers, very expensive. The Bureau of Justice Statistics did a study that roughly 51% of offenders who are released from prison will be back in prison or jail within 3 years of being released. The dehumanizing treatments, the sexual abuse, violent assaults, and the heinous murders that occurs at our prisons hardens and it creates criminals. And studies have shown that being in a place like this will increase the chance for individuals to commit a crime. And whenever these individuals are not caught, due to understaffing and the guards at the prison not being knowledgeable, these criminals are released back onto the streets. The $80 million that taxpayers pay annually that go to a broken and ineffective prison system should go in a new system and new solutions to the detrimental problems facing American prison systems today. So the United States houses more prisoners than any other country in the world, and with that being said, it has been made obvious that the prison system needs reform. Reform is needed not only for the inmates who are suffering, but for the security of our community and the safety of our children, ultimately. The overcrowding, understaffing, and ineffectiveness of our prison system is wrong, and it's immoral, and something must be done about it. Thank you.